So I am a gigantic fan of the iPad Pro 2020. You've all seen it. I've made several videos talking about how great this thing is, how fast it is, how powerful it is, and how it might be able to replace even my desktop computer. And one of the things that I use on it a lot is the Smart Folio keyboard. It's okay, but whatever, who cares? The real deal is here, and we now have the iPad Magic Keyboard on deck, and today we're gonna unbox it and just kind of go over my initial impressions. And let's just get into it. I've been waiting for this to show up all day, like UPS just dropped it off to my house. So what comes in the box? Let's find out. What's up, everybody? I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. Got the intro out of the way, let's crack this thing open. So what I am most excited about is how this, the typing experience on the MacBook Air 2020 is fantastic. The typing experience on the Smart Folio is okay, but it's not great. If this can give me the MacBook Air typing experience on the iPad, I'm super, super excited to see. So let's see, what do we have? I actually had to take the protector off of this because I was really excited, and then I remembered, hey, we gotta unbox it. So initial impressions, what do we have in this box? Do we get stickers? What I'm really excited about is, do we get any stickers in this thing? Because I love stickers. No stickers. No stickers? Boo! You gotta have stickers, Apple. Come on, give me some stickers. So wait. Can you guys see that? There's a charger, so do you have to charge it? Charge iPad using the Okay, so you can charge your iPad through the smart connection, plugged into the iPad keyboard, and you can save. I really like that. So one of the problems, if you start using your iPad for editing or stuff, you only get the one USB-C. So this, in effect, gives you two USB-C ports. I really, really like that. And is there anything else in the literature? Okay, so it just goes on there. Looks pretty easy. I'm pretty sure even I might not be able to screw this up. And that's it for the box. So how does this feel? Now, I did see some things on Twitter about how people were saying that this is heavy. And I guess it is heavier than the Folio keyboard, but it's not insurmountable. It's not that heavy. Whoa. I mean, it feels solidly built. It doesn't feel like an old MacBook. Like my wife's MacBook Pro 13 from 2015, that's a heavy computer. This does not feel the same. It feels very high quality. I like the material here. Smart connector. Ooh, how do the keys feel? That's gonna be the most important part of this whole experience for me, is how do these keys feel? Because I spend most of my day, whether it's work, YouTube, all of this stuff. That was really, did you see that? Check this out again. Can you see? Watch. Man, that was crazy easy just to set this thing up. That's even easier than setting up the Smart Folio, which I thought was the easiest thing. So let's set up a typing test here. This is the typing test from the MacBook Air the other day, because I use Google Docs for this. So how does the typing experience feel on the Magic Keyboard? It feels pretty good. The keys are very responsive. They're much more responsive than I keep pointing down here because that's where I threw it. The Smart Folio, they feel good. I'd probably say that they feel like a cross between the Smart Folio and the MacBook Air. It doesn't feel as good as the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro 16, but it feels pretty good. Again, this is initial impressions, literally just UPS just dropped it off. So we'll do a more in-depth comparison between this and the Smart Keyboard and maybe even the MacBook Air. I like how the typing experience is. I like the angles that you can get. I do kind of wish that, I don't think it's gonna lay down flat for me, is it? No, I don't wanna break it, but I was kind of hoping that it would be able to lay down flat. I don't know why, it makes the thumbnail easier, I'll tell you that. This is gonna make the thumbnail much harder. But I think the typing experience is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I guess that's as good a praise as you could hope out of an over $300 keyboard. Let's not forget that this is a $300 piece of machine. So what are you actually getting for 300 bucks here? You're getting a decent typing experience. I wouldn't say excellent. I would classify the MacBook Air as an excellent typing experience. You're getting this trackpad. So let's crack open the editing suite and see how the trackpad feels. It's almost too responsive. Hopefully we'll be able to find a setting to slow this down a bit, because that feels pretty wild. Do we keep the Ooh, we keep the gestures. that might be worth it right there. One of the reasons I always use my Magic Mouse with this is to keep those gestures. And one of the tasks that I use the iPad for is video editing, and I use the LumaFusion app. I'm not sponsored by LumaFusion, but they're the best video editing app on the iPad. And that is a smooth experience. And I don't mean to like oversell this right now. Again, we're all in, like when you unbox something, you're in that like honeymoon phase where you're like, oh, it's so great, it's the best thing ever. But this might be my legit favorite editing experience so far that I've ever had with the MacBook. When I first got this, when iPadOS first came out, I would edit with the pencil. It was functional again, but I didn't really like it. I don't like the pencil all that much. You'll notice that I rarely ever use it in these videos. And then with the 13.4 mouse and keyboard support getting enhanced, I then switched to using like a keyboard and a mouse. And it was okay, but you don't want to turn, I don't think you actually want to turn your iPad into a full laptop or desktop experience. That's not why you get an iPad. I think you get an iPad for the hyper optimization for the specific apps you're gonna use. And if you can get things to do like shortcuts or like easier workflows, that's what I think you really want. And that might, initial impressions, this might be the best editing experience. This might be the perfect editing accessory for the iPad. Because look, you get the gestures, you get all the movement, you can easily go through all this stuff. Man, the typing, when we first started typing, I was like, okay, I guess it's gonna be fine, whatever, hooray, it's a typing, blah, 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 blah. The trackpad is what's really selling me right now, and I didn't think it was gonna be that way. I really thought it would be the typing that would sell me, not the trackpad, but I'm really digging this trackpad. So, initial impressions, we got 3 things that I'm really concerned about. One, the build quality of it. The build quality feels fantastic. It's not as heavy. I was actually, like I said, I was afraid that this was gonna be too heavy. Together, I mean, it is heavier, and you can tell that it's heavier than the Smart Keyboard, but it's not a deal breaker for me. The typing experience is okay. It's not fantastic, but I think it's good enough, and I do think it's worth the price if you're gonna use this as like a travel computer. I do think that's good. The trackpad is fantastic. How long have we been recording? For 8 minutes now, and I'm sold on the trackpad. The trackpad's the best feature of this whole thing, because touching the screen, yeah, you can do that, but you don't always want to, like, when you're editing or when you're doing like pro level tasks, like you don't want to move up and down, up and down, up and down. That's one of the reasons I don't like the pencil. So the keyboard's okay, the trackpad is excellent, the build quality is great, but another fantastic thing is you now have 2 USB-C ports. So you got the USB-C port on the iPad itself, but then you also get the USB-C port over here, and that's magical. Like that is, so is this worth maybe the $300? We'll have to find that out. I'm not gonna answer this in 9 minutes recording. This will probably turn into like a 5-minute video. I'm not gonna be able to answer in my first 10 minutes with this keyboard on whether you should buy it or not. I'm very excited. I will say that I am now more excited to try it out than I was before I started. And that's always a good thing. That's kind of where you want to be in your initial impressions on a piece of tech, right? So what would you guys like to see out of the Magic Keyboard? Leave a comment below. I will be making a series of videos on this where we'll probably compare this against the Smart Folio keyboard. We might even bring in the MacBook Air again, because I spend most of my time typing. Most professionals, we will spend most of our time typing. So that's what you got to get right. So let me know, and if you liked this video and you want to see some more accessories that you could get for your iPad Pro to turn it into a better device, you can find my video talking about that right here. Click here to watch that video. Thanks for watching.